One of the big events on campus was the Viennese Balls, and the orchestra would play for those, and that was a lot of fun. And they'd have alternating sets with the orchestra and the Stanford Jazz Band. So we would be on one side where they'd have waltzing, and then the jazz band on the other side, and they were playing stuff like swing music.
I guess it was started by students who had attended Stanford in Vienna, and years passed and brought this whole kind of Strauss-like formal ballroom dance. It was held in the Robley Gym.
The month prior, they would offer lessons to learn the Viennese waltz and the polka. And then you would have the dance at the end. And so everybody would dress up in formal attire, tuxedos, full-length gowns, everything. And then you would go and have a Viennese ball.
There was an annual talent show.
Is that what Stanfunk?
It was called Stanfunk, yeah. People who were maybe talented with musicians, vocalists, spoken word, dance, had an opportunity to share their talent with us. So they would orchestrate and produce a show every year. And it was always so well done. And you just marvel at some of the talent of your classmates that you didn't know they had, because you just see them in the dining hall, right? But to hear someone come out maybe or do a beautiful dance, they do a lyrical dance, or play the guitar, or the piano and sing. It's just, yeah, it was really nice.
But it was almost a series of skits and talent and about kind of reflecting what was happening in our lives, essentially. But it was a bit of like a Saturday Night Live version of, different things that were happening in the community, as well as some of the performances by the groups. So there was Jam Packed. It was like a hip hop dance ensemble, and then there was the African American Kumba dance ensemble. They would perform and things like that. But everyone looked forward to going to see that at Dink every year.
Many of them so talented they became professional entertainers. So it was such a fun, cool thing. But it was another example of us doing something that was collegial, and it was something that impacted the whole university. That people would come around, they would go to Stanford, because it was cool. It was very cool.
Sophomore year in Twain, we had wing wangs. I think it must have been every quarter there was a party, and a wing would be in charge of the party. And everyone down the wing, every room, with your roommate, you would figure out what drink you were going to serve, and people from all over campus would come.
So the policy was that at every event in which alcohol was served, there also had to be equally attractive non-alcoholic beverages, or EANABS. So that was a big thing that, at every party there had to be, if there was booze, there also had to be EANABS.
Tradition-wise, I did everything Stanford did. So certainly did the Halloween party at the mausoleum. The things that I'm asking my daughter if she's doing, she's like, what are you talking about?
The Exotic Erotic is a big event in San Francisco, and it is about dressing up with an exotic erotic concept. So Alpha Sig put this on. It was a co-ed fraternity that was over on the row, so in the Cowell cluster. Think of it like a Halloween, but you use the theme exotic erotic. So there were quite a lot of teddies that you would see going around. You would have high boots, kind of risque through the whole concept, but very fun.
Come with as little as you can. That was the idea.
As little clothing.
As little clothing, as little clothing as you can. Raves were a big, or were becoming very popular in San Francisco and the city, and I think Exotic Erotic, or whatever it was called at the time, borrowed a lot of themes from raves during the time.
The rule was that men could wear one piece of clothing and women could wear two. And obviously you could wear a giant toga or a bag and that would count. But the point was to be as creative as possible for, say men wearing a sock or a codpiece and women wearing a bikini, essentially.
There was something really fun about it because it felt so free. It wasn't creepy. It just felt very sort of libertine, free, fun.
I think there's like 5 or 6 of us. We were like, well, let's just go see. And we were shocked by a lot of the nudity. Like people were nude, painted in one color. I was like, no, that's a little too much for me. So I don't think I ever went back.